Hello, hello. We're back with another day of Post Jam Dev here. On our LD55 compo entry, following wind. Should be good. What we really need to work on today is improving the water. We have a bit of a problem with the water, which is that the value is just too high of the background now. This is what it used to be. You just looked at a black and white image of the previous background. This is what it is now. It's just way too bright. It washes everything out. Kind of my fault. We kind of just went with the default parameters of the water. We're messing around with it a little bit by playing with this backdrop, but that is not the way to do this, I'm realizing. Way to do this. Go into the material. Mess with the material. If anything, we can probably just mess with the material here. Parameters we want to control are the specular color, the caustic color, and the watercolor. This is just, it's too bright. It needs to be a little greener. Like a little, not like a lot. Be a little desaturated. Like this. We darken it. Get close to what we had before. Probably make it a little more opaque too. Not like too opaque. We do still want to see stuff in the water, but we just want the hint that something's there. Let's pick a good hue. I do kind of like something that's a little greener. Really, be really careful about this. Something that's also a lot darker is what we want. Want like dark water here. Honestly, probably most of the way we need to go. Background's still a lot lighter than it used to be, but that's okay. Caustic highlights are definitely into the green. Are they be a little more toned down? Probably. Probably too much. Want them a little toned down, maybe a little desaturated. We do still want some of that color in there. Question is, how big should they be? They were around here. Probably fine around where they were. I want them to get a little dark, and there's something under the sea there. This is looking better. This will probably read a lot better than what we had. And then the specular color is fine. Yeah. I don't know. It still might be a little too bright. But I don't think there's much else we can do. Darken it a little, but we're getting to the point where you really can't see what's under the surface of the water. Around here is probably the highest I'll go. Oh, hey, Robotech. How's it going? How was the rest of the stream? I saw Fox Hollow was playing your game. That's pretty cool. We're tuning our ocean colors because our jam version was like super flat but had like really good value range. Then we got this new ocean shader and we just totally blew out the values. So I'm trying to tune it back more towards what it should be. This is probably about as good as we're going to get in terms of like a middle ground. I think I like this color. Get a screenshot and see where we end up. Wait till a ship comes on a screen. Let's summon a wind. Let's screenshot this. Grab this file here. Yeah, it's maybe not, still not maybe far enough. Good direction here. Let's look. It's gonna at least be better. At least a lot better. It's at least possible to distinguish all the black and white adjusted. So here's kind of where we are at right now. So that's the old, that's what I just ended up with. This is the one we had that was just like totally blown out. We're definitely getting there. I don't know if this is good enough. I think it might be a little too much. Definitely a lot better than this, though. Probably aim to get the background a little darker, and then maybe make the highlights a little more, a little paler, maybe. Can't really lower their opacity anymore. That's gonna mess them up, but figure something out. Did work on the water trails yesterday, and I think they are looking better. Maybe this is a little too teal. We need more of that like wine dark sea, as they used to say. Did improve the water trails. They seem a lot better. They seem maybe a little too much. They're the water trails of like a speedboat. Also need the water trails to persist after the ship has crashed. That's something I didn't think about. And now the water trails just go away when a ship crashes. Need them to like finish and then like fade. Hey, Robotech. How's it hanging? Saw Fox Hollow was playing your game yesterday. That's pretty dope. How'd the rest of the stream go? Yeah, pretty good. We're trying to fix our own jam game here, our Ludum Dare entry. This was like what it originally looked like, just in black and white. Just the background was really flat, so I added the kind of the Jest Codes water shader here, but it ended up being like really bad in terms of it blew out the whole value range of the entire screen. So I toned it down here, and now we're kind of in this middle ground, which is this. This is a screenshot I just took, and it's still a little too bright. I think we want to darken it up a little bit, so I'm just kind of working on that. Trying to tune these values. It's a little misleading because we went really hard into like the tropical Mediterranean like color scheme. I want to darken it up a little bit, give a little more hint of like the open sea. Bunch of updates. Yeah. I'm trying to really punch this up so I can make like a side-by-side trailer for like a post-mortem video. Like here's what the game looked like when, you know, it's the jam version, here's where we're at now. We're making really good progress, but yeah, there's a lot of tuning that needs to happen. I basically need to remake most of the art assets. We're kind of in the middle of, but I figured I need to solve the background first. Like the background is going to define pretty much everything else. It's pretty much going to define, you know, what we're going to look at in terms of value for the temple, for the ships, for the islands. So we really got to nail down a background that we're happy with. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I really want to put a post-mortem video out like either this upcoming weekend or the weekend after. I want to time it as close to the release of the Ludum Dare ratings as possible, just before everyone just stops caring. Okay, so getting really dark in terms of saturation. I don't think we can go a bit darker, I guess. Actually looks pretty cool. I think we need to maybe tone down the caustic noise texture if we're gonna go that dark. I wanna leave it transparent enough that you can see what's under the surface. I want to still be able to like hint at stuff like with silhouettes under the surface, like bits of island. Maybe we'll have like a cool silhouette of like a sea monster or something under the surface. I want to be able to play with that. So it can't be fully opaque. It would just be like this, which is, in terms of darkness, kind of exactly what we want. Contrast between the caustic texture, which is the like wibbly wobbly highlight bits, is too high. So we definitely can't do that. I'd say we could get close. Certainly get close. This still gives you a hint of it without actually forcing you to be that particular about it. So that's cool. We have to kind of decide brightness, how far we want to go. Pretty happy with this hue, I think, though. We could go a little bluer. I kind of like the hint of green. Really delicate line between the two. Previously, I was kind of going blue into purple, like the way I previously was creating a lot of the assets, but I like blue into green better. I was going into purple for the whole like Greek like wine dark sea thing, but I don't think it reads as well. This definitely reads more as open ocean, I guess. Kind of almost purplish blue. I think I prefer something a little more like this. Alright, so let's say we're happy with that just for the sake of argument. Let's mess with the caustic color a little bit. Caustic color is a little too... It does need to be a little more opaque. Because right now it's fighting with the... Oh, interesting. Yeah. A little more opaque. Not too... It was like around here. Right, maybe it needs to be less opaque. It needs to either be darker or more transparent. And so we'll try both and see what looks better. This is transparency. Probably heading more in that direction. So what if we keep it around where it was and we start fiddling with darkness? Oh, this does basically nothing. I see. So yeah, in that case, we can keep it up a little. Actually, swing this pretty widely and I won't do anything. In which case, we want a little bit of color. We want a little more of the green. We want to go a little in the green. If we're like thinking of this as like a color ramp. Yeah, you know, it took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out how to do it. I was like, check this out. This is the Just Code's visual shader that controls the water. I think up here is like... Up here. This branch is... something. Wait. Yeah. Each section of this is a branch of it, and I don't remember what this is. Oh, this is the foam. So this top branch is the foam, like along the edges of the water. And this branch is the specular highlights. And then this this main branch here is the water, I believe. Ah, this is the caustic. All the caustic, actually. But yeah, this is a pretty wild visual shader. I was looking through this last night. You can even change those colors at different in-game events. Oh yeah, we can change those colors. We'll probably slightly change them with different levels. If we have like kind of a biome, a feeling of like different biomes. We can change lots of stuff with this. We can change the speed at which things happen. So we could speed this up if we want to communicate more of a stormy water situation. I don't think it will mean much until we start to get until you see the difference where you're like, oh, this is like relatively calm water, and then we do another one, and it's like way more agitated. And you're like, oh, the stormy seas here. So let's see. So what we're gonna do, we're pretty much fine with this color. We wanted it to be into the green a little bit. Red for the final boss, yeah. And then this, we're going to actually tone this down. We don't need this to be as dramatic as it is. It's like, this is just like, it looks, what am I looking at? A leopard print? Probably want something. This is too little. It looks cool, but it's too little. Probably somewhere in this neighborhood. Quarter opacity. that's probably fine. And the specular highlights, I don't think we need to change at all. Unless we wanted to give them a little bit more of a color. Right now they're white. Don't really do anything. All we can really do is change the opacity, make them less noticeable. Yeah, now there's hardly any specular highlights. Now there's a lot, and they are very bright. It's around 215. We're gonna leave it there. I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna mess with that. There's so few of them. They're already pretty tuned well relative to the caustic texture. All right, okay, one last. So this will be our 4th test. I think we did it. I think we got a much darker background like we wanted. You can still barely make out the underwater silhouettes. And we gotta fix some more of this stuff. Yeah, let's look at this and let's take a screenshot. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's throw one of these winds out for comparison. Now let's go grab that. Screenshot. Quick black and white filter. Put it here. So we've got pretty much all the different ones we've tried. Oh, this is the same one twice. Where's the new one? There it is. So this is the first one we tried. Here, I'm gonna move this over. This is the one we had last night. Way too bright and just blown out. And then this one in the bottom left is what we just had before we made our last round of adjustments. And this is where we've ended up. This is good. This is very close to where the original background was in terms of value. That's pretty much exactly where we want to be. Yeah. I think we got there eventually. Everything's pretty readable. The only problem that I'm seeing here looking at this is that the ship is now basically the same value as the water. That is a big problem, but that's fine. We're going to remake the ships anyway. So we just need to remake the ships. The rocks are also basically the same value as the water. That's also a problem, but those are okay problems to have. The temple stands out really well. The islands stand out really well. The clouds stand out really well. I want to see how the cloud wisps look. We're very happy with how this turned out, I think. Also redid the water wakes a little last night. They're looking better. Maybe a little too frothy. Okay, yeah, the wind wisps are looking pretty good against this background. Oh, I barely saved that ship. Awesome that you can make some high speed maneuvers like that now. Building the ships are maybe a little too fast at times, but I don't mind that too much. I guess the ships are pretty easy to spot because of the wind wakes still. The value issue isn't like a huge problem. But it's still a problem. Top speed is still kind of out of control. W. Davis, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. We're working on our Ludum Dare compo game. We're kind of sprucing it up, trying to finish it. Make it good enough to put out into the world as a finished game here. But we're a long ways from getting there, I think. We're getting to the point soon where we're just gonna need a bunch of content. We need ships, we need levels, we need set pieces. I really like this background color. The way the islands look against the background color now. Much better. The shallow kind of tropical water we had before. Definitely feels a lot deeper. And I can see the silhouette of the islands barely. Which is great. So I probably don't have to do these fancy, stupid, opaque layers I was doing before. I'll probably just make them solid. Or relatively solid. They'll be fine. Yeah, this ocean spray is looking a little crazy. Its top speed is maybe a little too much, but we'll tune it. Keep tuning it. Oh, we got ads in about a minute, but we don't mind. Alright. So, easy win. Let's make like a semi-transparent part of this rock. Submerged. Save a version of the rock that's submerged. We'll do some like race, like maybe half the opacity, something like that. How that looks. Take the rock. Rocks. Figure out which rocks are the submerged ones, I guess. Just doing something simple while ads are going. You can also do this as a mask instead of like hard coding in the transparency. Now that's how like DevDuck and Just Codes and other people would do this. We also don't close them. So this I shouldn't have to do anymore. This like weird feathery opacity thing should be not necessary. Let's also fix this since we're here. This island dock issue. You can also address that with transparency. Say we'll paint in the colors here. 3, 3, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3. I'm just counting these for my sake. We'll go in and we'll this. This is very much the wrong one. We need the dock by itself. Oh, what did I call that? Small Island Dock 2? Oh, shoot. That was the right thing. I was just hiding background, I think, when I was painting it, like this. Oh, rip. Or I don't know. Let's look at the island. Maybe it's actually the 8. Okay, no, it is this by itself. But it's not this one. It's... We need to figure out what we're using here. This is the one thing I don't like about having... I like having a one-to-one A-Sprite file to export, so I actually know what I used to make the thing. It's this. We just turn this part off. I think. Not... Yeah. Anyway, how's it going, Eomoth? That's consistent. Pretty good. We call this Dock 2. Yep. Alright, okay, there we go. Save that. Should give us a better look here. Oh yeah, look at that. Not perfect, but very much not perfect. This is why maybe be a bit more careful about the transparency. But from afar, you can't tell. We need to be more careful about stuff that interacts with this foamy wave area. Rocks, that's what we're doing. Made a submerged rock, and we just need to replace these rocks with the submerged version. Yeah. Meet you. You can go here. Doesn't really matter whether they're exactly in the right spot or not. We're just trying to do this incrementally. If anything, we're gonna need to make a new scene as soon as we're like significantly changing this stuff. I think we'll redo the ships on this level, and then as soon as we start doing new environmental art, we'll make a new level. This one should probably be just out of range of that. I guess it's fine. Got all the submerged rocks. It is. It's a subtle difference, but I think it matters. So we just need to put those rocks in correct. Put them here in the obstacle manager. Let's take a quick look. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, it looks like they're submerged now. This one looks a little funky. Okay. I don't think the big waves look quite as good as they used to. Big wakes. They look worse now. I think they did a lot of heavy lifting. Back when we didn't have an ocean thing, but I think now, yeah, we need to tone them down like that. Just make them like ocean spray. Still some awkward jagged edges. We get rid of the side ones. Do we get rid of these? We just have a couple of these here. Put them like right up here. Yeah, I think this is how we're gonna do it because we're just trying to create like like a splash, a foamy splash. Same with the back ones. I think we move the back ones up a little bit. Yeah. I don't think it's ideal, but I think that works to a good extent. Maybe we move them up a little. Oops. What I wanted to do. We move them up a little closer. The back, yeah, to just close the gap here. This one needs to move over by one. I want to leave a hole in the middle. Doesn't seem like we are, so that's good. I think this gives us what we want. Eventually, maybe a little too subtle now. Let's back up. Yeah, it's looking really chunky. Maybe that's too much. Maybe we just keep it low opacity. Let it be a subtle effect for now until we come up with something better. That's fine. This is not worth spending time on right now. I just want to, I mean, I've said this just a minute ago, but like, I want to keep this level playable. I want to keep the original level of the game as playable as possible. Which means I should probably save this since we're pretty happy with it, and then do another branch that's like, call this the like improvement branch, and then have another branch that's like the expansion branch. keep this about where it is. Pretty much what we want. What the drifting is like. Are you gonna crash? Yeah, the drifting is actually kind of hard to calculate. Yeah, if you go for speed, you really have to do the math. You have to like think about how far the thing is gonna go before it actually hits the target. Interesting. It is cool to speed the ships up like this, though. Do get why people ask for that. What I want to play around with is having a slight offset the parent ship. And by parent ship, I mean like the ship, the basic ship class, where isn't a great example. Should probably get a different frame. What it looks like normally, and it's locked. It's traditionally locked the 8 directions. I want to add a subtle in between rotation, but I'm very afraid to do that. I really want it. We did one before, kind of on accident. At the risk of really messing it up, so let's look at ship direction, because ship direction and sail direction are vector 2i's. The only reason they need to be is because we are feeding them into the sprite frame from direction function, which needs a vector 2i. So we could actually just not require that. Do it here. Snapped direction is 2i ground direction. So we don't even need to declare the variable, do we? We can just say this. Match this. So that way we can still get the correct sprite frame for the given direction. We can loosen up on our requirement that these be vector 2i's. In which case we don't do this anymore. We don't need to do this. But we're pretty much just preparing this just for this one specific function. Not do that. Okay, so we've done that. Let's just sanity check ourselves and make sure we didn't break anything. Probably didn't, but you never know. Our goal is to kind of get rid of the drift to allow the ship to actually be pointing towards where it's going. You just need to be very careful about that. I wonder if there should be negative consequences for turning away a ship that's trying to come to the temple. Probably some. Probably don't want it to be very high. Like this kind of situation where you accidentally turn around a ship. I mean, we saved it from the rocks, so it's better than not, but... Wake still holds up pretty decently at high speed. It definitely looks better at low speed. Alright, so the way we would handle this... We're applying a wake pivot rotation. That's the ship direction dot angle. We don't want to apply the full rotation. We basically never want the rotation to be ever more or less than 45 degrees. I mean, we could change it so that we actually face the direction that we're traveling. We would need to totally redo the sprite frame evaluation, basically. I mean, would we? Yeah, we would. Although if we did it that way, we would no longer have to draw, like... So, this is what I'm thinking. Is if we actually succeed in doing this... Is this true? Is what I'm saying true? It might not be, actually, what I was about to say. But we have this, like, 8-direction ship. If the ship rotates less than 45 degrees, then we still, the sprite frame system still makes sense. Because we're only ever making small changes. Actually, it would be less than, yeah, it would be 45 degrees total, because it would be like whatever, 20 degrees one direction. It would be before it hits the midpoint. Actually, I guess that's 90 degrees total, huh? Oh, no, 45, because if we get closer to this vector, we just switch sprite frames to the other vector. Or to the one for the other whole integer vector, which is like, 0, -1, 1, -1, 1, 0, etc. We're going to see how that looks. I'm kind of tempted by that. If it works really well, then when we do the next versions of the ships, we actually only need 2 versions of the ships. We would just need... Well, we need 2 to 4. We could handle the diagonals as between the others. We'll see. Oh, I'm curious to see how this looks. I did it on accident during the jam by starting to turn the whole ship, and it looked really good because Godot is surprisingly good at breaking, at like quantizing pixel art when it's off axis. It's like something you aren't supposed to do. If you're drawing pixel art, really, you're not supposed to let stuff get drawn off axis. But like, it looks great for the wind. We're gonna see. We're gonna wait and see if it looks good for the ship. But I want to try it. Nobody can tell me not to do it. Oh, what the F? Oh, this was the wrong file. Thought I fixed this. How many of these are there? Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't see. I don't know, man. We're starting to run into the consequences of having like a game jam architecture on a game that we're continuing to work on. Where like we didn't bother to organize anything because it was a jam game, but now our lack of organization is coming back to bite us a little bit here. But that's okay. Am I doing? Oh yeah, I remember. Rotating the ship. So we're gonna rotate the ship. The ship direction is good. It's limited. Because of how the sprite frame system works, we only want to go, so we do want to clamp this. We want a variable rotation. I don't know. Clamped. Oh, we already have a clamped angle. Call it the in-between. We're gonna take, basically taking the difference. Okay, so I actually do want to know this. So the in-between is going to be ship direction. And now we actually do want to round it. We want to say vector 2i round ship direction. Oh, can we not get an angle for that? Oh, is this really stupid? I guess we don't need to cast it to a 2i, we just need to round it. We'll round it. That angle. We want to say something like, do we have a concept of the parent ship here? Yeah, that's just our transform. So we can just say self dot rotation is in between I don't know if that's right, but we're gonna try it. Probably look really incorrect. It's the opposite, so we need to do the opposite. So it's ship direction minus. We don't even need to declare a variable, huh? We can just say this. And like it's gonna be a really easy win here. It says before some horrible edge case like completely ruins me. Yeah, we're slightly at an angle now. Getting that weird pixel in between thing, which I actually don't hate. Oh, okay. Maybe we didn't think this through. It actually looks kind of fun. It's kind of misbehaving in a way that I don't actually hate. It's definitely not gonna work. And I see why. I see why it doesn't work. Is there a world in which it does work, though? Maybe it is truly bad, what we're trying to do here. Very noisy, that's for sure. Like having the ship render like this. Very noisy and wobbly. He still needs work. How's it going? Making bad decisions. I've like kind of unlocked the ship's rotation. So now it's kind of just no longer the pixel perfect representation of the ship. And it looks really weird. I kind of like it, but I acknowledge why this is like generally considered bad form. It looks good at low speed. At high speed, it gets really wobbly, weird. So we probably should just abandon this idea of having the ships rotate a little more gradually. The reason this isn't the way this typically works. We can fix some of the weird wibbly wobbly stuff, but it gets into some bad states if it's like at a perfect diagonal. This looks wavy. But yeah, this is better. It's better to just have it be perfect. Looks like a tugboat. Yeah. We're having it rotate in between the different 8 direction. This is a case where I think we could get this to work, but we're messing around with what's like essentially like a sprite 3D at that point, and not like an actual sprite 2D. And I don't think it's worth it, like having it be this choppy, pixelated mess. I don't think that's good. Like, I thought it would be cool. Turn it off for a second. Got it. It was just like a line of code, so that part's cool, I guess. Like, it's one thing if it's a one-dimensional wind wisp thing to be having that cool effect, or like water to have that cool effect, but something substantial like a ship, yeah, it doesn't. It looks bad, so we're just going to stick with this. We'll just live with the fact that there can be a little bit of drift in the ship's movement, which I think is fine. Should be using a different sail under that circumstance, huh? Sail selection is not making a ton of sense. I guess I just have one sail for up. Maybe I need to change the way I think about the sail directions. I think for different levels you could create stormy water with a darker color. With easier levels you could use light blue color to convey a calmer type of water. Oh yeah, I think you're right. We can also change the animation speed. Like, we can change how hectic this caustic water texture looks. So we can make the water look choppier by having this ripple effect be more violent. And yeah, we can definitely darken the water and stuff. You can even put some transparent clouds that pass overhead. You know? Because like we have the little clouds here. But we can put some big overhead clouds that like you can't see, but you can see the shadow they cast. Do that too. Even a variation of color in an area where sea monster. Yeah. We can you can kind of see under the islands here. I should probably actually change the islands back to like something more like what we'd actually want. Like this. This doesn't need to be this wibbly strange thing. We're gonna just make it simpler. Oh, not using that though. Gonna go grab this whole thing. And we're gonna say fill. That not work? What? Now I fill this. At base? Happening? You just switch to the pen tool or something? That's unusual. Water does seem a little more turbulent now. Yeah, so we actually did a lot over the last few days. I can show you how kind of that evolved a little bit. So the original old version of the game looked like this. We're just showing it in black and white so we can see the values. Then when we first put in the new water thing, it looked like this. So we totally just blew out our whole value range. Then this morning I tried adjusting down and it got a little better. And then this is where we're at now, which if you compare it to the old one is almost exactly the same. Like the dark areas are very similar now. It's a little lighter, but only just. So I think we recovered a lot of that. So I think we're okay with it. So okay, here's my struggle right now. Let's get the ellipse thing. Let's draw this shape out. Then let's be confused as to why a sprite is not letting me. Oh, because this layer is invisible. I need to be on the correct layer. Now I can fill with this color. There we go. Oh, F me. That was not what I wanted to do. What? Oh, I've really messed it up. Cool. I really messed everything up. I go back to here. Possible? There we go. Let's try that again without totally ruining everything. Yeah. We don't need to be this delicate, is what we've realized. Oh, we also don't need to fill, save, do this, but we're not overriding the small island dock. We're overriding small island 2. Yes. Yeah, so we can still see, you can still see silhouette under the water. So we can do some cool stuff like sea monsters, wrecks, maybe like crazy silhouettes of, I don't know, whatever we want. Maybe like the skeleton of a sea monster or something, like a whale bones or whatever we want to do under the water. Because yeah, the water is transparent enough. We can definitely play with that, and I think that'll be really fun. Did I mostly fix my mistakes here? Mostly. All right. There's basically two things we can do now. We could either try to draw a new temple or try to draw a new ship. I'm tempted to do the ships first, because the temple is going to have a lot to do with that. Oh yeah, I didn't create any of this, but thank you. This is part of the same tile map setup here. So the edge, you basically draw either complete ocean, like unbroken ocean square tile, or you draw in one of the edges. This is the Just Codes water shader that we've adopted here. Just pretty good. All right, I guess we can't really avoid it anymore. Got to do something, and I guess it's gonna be so. So I think there's an issue with how we represent the sails, because like if we're going up, I think we actually only need 4 directional sails based on what we're currently doing. Maybe the problem that we're having here. Just because the problem is if the ship is going up and the wind is pushing it slightly to the left, we aren't switching to this sail, which I kind of want us to be doing. Just thinking about how I'm going to do that. Oh, no worries, no worries. Welcome back, Robotech. It's good. We haven't done a lot. We were fiddling around with the ships. I've identified an issue with the sail, because the sails and the ships themselves move separately. We have a little problem where the ships kind of are cardinal directions, like, but with the diagonals. The sails need to as well, but the sails, where the ship gets rounded, the sails kind of need to be like a little more sensitive to a direction. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do that. I guess the way we've currently drawn them, we can switch it. So that there's only 4 sails. We need to do that, and I'm just thinking about how we're going to do that. I'm doing that to avoid having to start work on the new ship designs, which are going to be bigger. They're going to probably be 24 by 24-ish instead of 16 by 16, which, I mean, I say 16 by 16, but this is 16 by 16. So we're going to continue to use like a subset of it, but the ships are going to get a little bigger, and that's so we can express... We can have some more complex ship categories. We can have like a small ship that's like thinner, better at cutting through the wind. We can have like a medium ship that's pretty much going to probably just be the spiritual successor to this ship. And then we'll have a big ship that's like very bulbous and large. That's like very resilient to the wind. That's like really hard to move. And the different ships will have like different point values. So it'll be like easy to get the little ships in and out, but they will be worth a lot less than the big ships. I'm just thinking about how I want to do this. So basically, if it's 12 o'clock, if the ship is going 12 o'clock, it doesn't really matter which of these picks, but it's never going to be exactly 12 o'clock. it's going to be like slightly to the right or slightly to the left. And if it's slightly to the right, this sail is correct. But if it's slightly to the left, we need to use this sail. So I just need a better way of evaluating the sail direction. The ship direction is fine. We're rounding it. But in this case, does that mean we want to floor it so that we get either up into the left, up into the left, up into the right, down into the left, or down into the right? Is that what we want to do? Is that the correct way to handle that? I like flooring the sail direction and just having 4 of them. We are slightly offsetting this one. Also matters. This is also maybe something that we don't necessarily care about for this version of the game. And maybe it's something we just think about when we implement the next set of ships, but we probably want to figure this out. So yeah, so if we're going slightly down on the left, oh, here we are changing it. But we only really change it if it's big enough. Completely move the ship. Means we'll need different logic for the sails versus the ships, though. I also think we're maybe still letting the ships move a little too fast. Stormy waters. Hey, Cubus. Yeah, we really improved the background water this morning, I think. We're getting way more of an open ocean vibe and less of like a shallow, like Bahamas situation. Which is cool, but maybe not what we were going for. But who knows? Maybe we'll have different... Ow. Ship's just crashed. Thinking the ship top speed is a little much here. Yeah, the drifting is what I really don't like. But I guess it's cool. We were thinking about how to change the sail logic so that the sails are a little more sensitive to the direction the wind is coming from. Because, like, the sail should be flipped in this case, where I'm pushing the ship a little to the right here. Sail should flip the other way, but the logic doesn't really accept that or isn't sophisticated enough to understand that, and I kind of want to spend time doing that. So 2 clouds make them go faster. That might be the case, but I don't think that's the case. I think just their top speed. The thing is, so when you transfer your velocity to the ship, if you do it like this, when you're like right when the cloud spawns, the cloud hasn't had time to build up its velocity yet, so it transfers very little energy. So it's like a low speed turn. But if you hit it from afar like this, if you give the cloud time to build up its velocity and then it hits the ship is just like gone. But that's not that fast, so maybe hitting them with 2 clouds really is speeding them up. We're not going to be able to test that because here, let's turn this ship a little. Let's do a test up here where it's clear. So we're going to speed the ship up once. Speed the ship. Oh, please don't hit that pirate ship. And let's hit the ship again and see what happens. Doesn't seem to, but maybe if you hit them with multiple clouds, maybe it adds together its velocity or something. No. Okay, so multiple clouds doesn't seem to have an effect. That's good. Cubus, it looks like there should be a lot more breaking waves on the island now. Maybe you can blend between the cyan water towards the shores. Yeah, maybe I can. Let's look at the... what we should do is look at the material, shader material here. Look at our parameters. Wave speed 5. What about wave speed 10? This is so good. Just codes is so great. Okay, now the waves are going faster. Makes sense that it would be stormier waters for us since we're, you know, swirling everything around. I mean, the waves could be more violent, maybe. I mean, what I should do is have a tile set that's like at an offset and is kind of like this, but for like wet sand or something, so you can kind of see the effect on the land, because right now the land is not affected by the water going in and out. I think there's more stuff we could do there for sure. All right, so I guess this only affects a few cases. So like this ship should be able to have either the right sail or the left sail. This one should be able to have the down sail or the... Oh, we don't actually have an up sail. Actually, it's this one. So it would be either this or this, depending on which way the wind is prevailing. Maybe we can just use the sign of the wind direction, of one of their wind direction axes. So like if we're heading this way along 1-0, it's rounded to 1-0, but if it's the Y is slightly positive, we would want to use this sail. And if the Y was, oh no, if the Y was slightly positive, we'd use this sail because the enemy's gate is down in Godot. And if the Y is slightly negative, we'd use this sail. Does that hold for the other cases? I guess it holds for whichever axis is rounded to 0. So whichever one is rounded to 0 is the one that we are interested in. Yeah. So this is our 0, -1. And then if the x-axis is slightly positive, we use this sail. If the x-axis is slightly negative, we use this sail. Okay, so we can use the sign. Okay. I figured it out. We figured it out. Now we just have to implement it. But it'll make the sails even more responsive, which we love. And my coffee is cold. Getting a lot of kind of weird music. Poseidon's Kingdom. I usually don't like this artist, but this is appropriate. I saw Cubus's awesome dice roller system yesterday. It was so cool. And yeah, Cubus, I am waiting for you to make some dice towers. A little chaotic or wild sounding. Yeah, exactly. What have you been working on? Still needs work. I've never found out. I know you do solo dev. How's your dev been going? I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine too. I am often. Before I started streaming my dev, I never wanted to talk about my dev work. I was always like, it's everything's shit. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. You're working on the 20 game challenge, and I'm on the first game. Oh, awesome! What are the requirements of the 20 game challenge? Is it 20 games in a year? Because that would be so hard. That would be what, like 3 weeks a game? Next song is The Swell. That's great. Yeah, we're on a weird. Usually I hate this radio, but we're on a weirdly on point series of songs here. First game is a version of Flappy Bird, so they each get harder as you go. Oh, so it's like a course where it's like you have to make certain games in a certain order. I see. All right, so sprite frame from direction. So unfortunately, we can't do it like this anymore because the logic is going to change. We can take this. Let's take this and make a copy. Actually, no, we actually need to do this a little differently. We need to say we need to make this like we need to make one that's just for the sale. So update sale sprite. We're not going to do it like this. Let's say assign. We're gonna have it. We're gonna pass in the direction. You can still have it return an int. Instead of that. I guess in this case we don't actually need to pass a like practice to get better each game to add in something new. There's a bit of a learning curve for you in understanding Godot and the function and node usages. Watching other devs is helping somewhat. Yeah. You understand functions, but you're not familiar with all that is in Godot. Oh, I haven't even scratched the surface of the number of things that are in Godot to use. Sometimes I get distracted where I'm like, add a node, and then I just start like looking at the node tree, and I'm like, oh my god, what are all of these? I get into that a lot. I'm like, what's this? What's this? What's this? And I just start going crazy, and I just start going down this rabbit hole of like all the different class hierarchies. Godot. But it's very cool. There's still so much I haven't even touched, like anything to do with lighting. We haven't done any lighting of any kind. We probably should do at a certain point. I mean, I can cheat a little bit because I'm doing like 2D and I'm like hard baking the lighting into the sprites, but yeah. You like to explore for yourself rather than just get the answers to questions right away. Yeah, I totally get that. That sounds good. Because yeah, someone will explain something to me over and over again and I'll be like, yeah, but what does it mean for me and what I'm doing? Okay, so the norm direction moves us towards itself rotated towards the clamped number of degrees here. That's good. And the ship direction matches that slow rotation, but the sail jumps directly to it. You could actually make this a variable. You could call this call this like norm rotation. Well, a norm rotation isn't maybe like the most clear way of describing this. You could say, yeah, whatever, who cares? Rotating to doesn't this work? Oh, there's not the right number of there's too many parentheses. Oh. There we go. Let's say oh, this is different. These are different. I can't do what I did. Oh no, they're right. So here we're moving towards this. So we need to do that. Here we're moving towards this value, whereas over here we are just becoming this value. Variable names are failing me there a little bit. Okay, so whatever. So what we need to do here is take this. Tail direction. And we're going to say, so if it's like this, we're going to say now here's the part where I have to look at my stuff. Oh, still needs work. Gifting a sub to Robotech. That is too nice. You are too good to us. We'll go with 7, I guess. Turn sail direction dot sign F. Do sign F, so it's gonna be sign. So if the sign is positive, actually that won't work. Sail direction dot sign. Actually, it will work. We just say sail direction dot sign is greater than 0. Sail direction dot x dot sign greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, we want 0. Otherwise, we are going to return 7. I don't think this is how you do ternary in GDScript. You like the community here? Thank you. It's a small community, but we'll grow. We grew a lot over Ludum Dare. We like doubled our follower count. Met so many people. Like, yeah, it was really good. And now it's quieting down again, and we're kind of going back to what we used to be at. A handful of people here tuning in, but I enjoy it. Probably see another big burst of growth in October next time we do another one of these. And that's okay. Okay, so unexpected question mark in source. If you want a ternary operator, use truthy value if true condition, else. Okay, return 0 if sail direction, else 7. This is their preferred ternary operator. That's what I'm being told. Oh, is greater than 0, else 7. Where's the problem with 47? Oh, variable. Small community, chill community. Thanks, Cubus. Yeah, we have no moderators, and I like it that way. Cannot find sign on base property float. I guess we don't need the sign. We can just say X. So the X of the non-rounded version. Okay, and we just do this. We do this for any value here that has negative, or not a negative, for each of these, like north, east, southwest. We don't do the diagonals, but we do the straight up values. So we're gonna say return 2 if sail direction dot y is greater than 0. So 0, 1, 2, else we are going to. Okay, here we have a slight problem. We have a slight problem here. And it's that the sail... Yeah, whatever. It's good enough for now. Sail is going to be offset by 1 pixel. Because of how I did this. We'll draw this. Next time we draw the sails, we'll draw them and we'll ignore the ship, and we'll just draw them to be on the same point. And then we'll just create an offset if we have to when we're combining them. But right now, they're kind of hard-coded in here. So that's okay. So we're going to say return 2 if sail direction.y is greater than 0, else 1. Yeah, thank you. Still needs work. And then this one is return 4 if sail direction.x is greater than 0, else. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're going to have the same problem again. The sail offset. But that's okay. Else 3, I guess. Doesn't really matter. One I pick here. And the last one, which is turn 6 if sail direction.y is greater than 0, else we are going to return 5. That should be that for just making the sails as responsive as possible. We just need to then do a similar thing here where we take this, copy it over to the update ship sprite frame. Have this set the integer return value. Have this use the ship direction. Get rid of this. Now we just need to change the code. Update. Sail sprite. It should call this something else. We should call this like sail sprite from direction. Before direction. From is fine. It's a little weird. It's not really how people talk, but who cares? My functions are getting too long. I like having function names that explicitly say what they're for. Right frame from direction. And sprite frame from direction. Not found in base self. Where else am I calling this? 33. Oh. Sail. Sprite frame from direction. Don't need to pass anything. Yep. Right frame from direction. Don't need to pass anything. Alright, that should work. It's going to look a little weird because the mast is going to jump around a little bit. should let us make subtle changes. So yeah, subtle. Nope, that didn't actually do it. Subtle changes. Where's my subtle change? Okay, there's a subtle change. Saw it there. That was nice. I'd like to see it on the bottom as well. Yeah, I can see it. It's hard to tell, but I can see it for the top. Grab a white ship and use that to test. So, is this backwards? Did I set this backwards? I set the logic for one of them backwards. Okay, what about you? Okay, I set the logic for some of them backwards. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so you are backwards for some reason. Are also backwards. There we go. Okay, so every time I change the ship's direction, the sail will jump. Love that. That feels really nice. No one's ever going to notice it because the cloud is like always going to be over the ship when that jumps, but it feels a lot better to me. I hardly even notice the weird mast jumping shenanigans that happen sometimes, so that felt successful. Alright, we only have like another 20-ish minutes, 20-30 minutes here, so what else? What else is an easy win we could get today? Look at our to-do list real quick. Just start scratching things off of this. Need to record some additional music is what I need to do. But that I should probably do off stream. We're not totally done with the ship wind locomotion, but that's such an annoying tuning thing that also should probably be done off stream. Particle parameters based on variables like ship speed. Like speed. This we still need to do, and this I'm a little concerned about doing. It's definitely something we need to do. I think we'll do this tomorrow. I think we'll draw some, a few different new ship designs tomorrow. I think that'll be fun. Additional spells could be really cool too. The AI is going to be simple, but the AI is going to be fun. Having a little bit of AI steering. Maybe with a little bit of steering assistance, you maybe don't need quite such a delicate touch when you're maneuvering stuff, when you're moving people around. Environmental set pieces like new islands, ocean surface floor elements, and birds. That'll be fun. I think some ocean surface floor elements could be cool. Welcome back. Proper menu system. This is maybe one of the more interesting ones that I think Cubis recommended, which is the elastic camera. That would let us use more of the map because the camera would slightly move around. And it would always keep like the temple within like one of the thirds of the screen. Like it would never move the temple that far off, but it would buy us a little more room. I think that could be really good. But what can we do right now? I mean, I guess we could just try tuning the ships a little bit more. We also need to do some stuff like, I've been ignoring the score because I'm basically going to get rid of the score. Like, score is going to go away as a concept. I don't know. I don't know if that means I should just delete it right now from this build. Probably not. So let's look at the speed a little more. So at low speed, I'm very happy with what's happening. Maybe I'm not super happy with the way particles work at low speeds, but I am very happy with the ship maneuvering at low speeds. Really causing us some problems is when we do stuff at speed like this. Maybe the ship reaches top speed too quickly? No, probably not. That's probably not it. Maybe the issue is just, you know, in a lot of contexts, you'll never reach top speed. You wouldn't reach your top speed, but like this will. Here, we're cooking now. Oh yeah, that's really cooking. I actually think that's fine. I actually don't think there's a problem with this. By the way, there's a great camera add-on called Phantom Camera, which should make that super simple to set up. Okay. That sounds good. Kind of like Godot's version of like Cinemachine or something. Thanks for the ship it. Still needs work. Let's take a look at that. Without score, what is the goal of the game? Not dropping faith to 0? No, it's going to be like, because we're tying the difficulty to the faith level, it's going to be like different levels will have different faith thresholds to beat them, to clear them. So it'll be like one level might be like maintain, you know, 60 faith for 60 seconds or something like that. And then we do need some open-ended aspect of it. So like, let's say you achieve your faith threshold. I do want some kind of measure. So we maybe want time as a coefficient there. So time maybe also increases difficulty to an extent, but a lower extent. So you could also say like, well, I survived this long or something like that. Or maybe it would be more of a race of like, I got 60 faith and it only took me like 4 minutes or something like that. I don't know. We need to think about that. But yeah, I don't see much of a point of having the score as a standalone thing anymore. Phantom camera. Is this for 3D or will this just work? Oh, Phantom camera 2D. What does this do? Some transitions and some easing? That's pretty cool. Target offset. Okay, so I can set the target offset and it will handle the in-between stuff for me. That sounds pretty good. Let's download that. This is a lot, but this is fine. Did I start telling, we'll install that a little later. I feel like I need to add my add-ons folder to like git ignore or something. Maybe not. I feel like it's a lot for me to save all of this. Save, like, this is quite a lot to just save in my version control. I mean, I know in size-wise, it's like probably like less than a meg. If you click view files, you can get to the GitHub repo with the docs. Oh, nice. High scores could unlock secret levels. Yeah, there could be some stuff. I also thought about maybe making it so we were talking earlier about having faith be like a resource as well. So like maybe if you get either all of or some of the faith you exit the level with. So if you're able to hit this faith threshold and get more, then you can maybe buy more stuff when you exit the level. So like, and I don't know what that would be. I don't know what the upgrades would look like or what that would mean, but that's also a possibility. Because then you could be like, you know, I could try to get some more faith before I end the level, but I also could start losing faith, and then I get less. So I don't know. Pretty chunky add-on. Won't need all of that. Oh shoot. Probably just borrow the flexible cam stuff. Yeah, I'll look at that. I'll look at the Hello, Raiders. Something better. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Jotson. Thank you for stopping by. We are working on our Ludum Dare 55 compo entry, which is pinned to the chat here. Very different. Let me grab the itch page so I can show you kind of how different. Welcome in, Jotson and friends. How is it going? How was the stream? Hello, hello, hello. So this is what I made. Let me get down to the screenshots here. Oh, and they're gone. So this is kind of what the jam build of our game looked like. It was like really minimal, really bare bones, but it was compo, so we did it in like 48 hours. I can show you the build. Turn the music off here. So this was our compo game. It's pretty nuts, yeah. So this is kind of what we made for Ludum Dare 55. I made it all. I recorded the music and everything. And the theme was summoning. So we made a game about summoning the wind. Oh, it's going to lag while I'm loading resources. So you can summon these gusts of wind, and it changes your ship direction. And your goal is to kind of get the little white ships to the temple while keeping the black-sailed ships. I call them pirates and pilgrims, so the black-sailed ships are the pirates. So you've got a bunch of wind going around, and the wind carries across the whole level, so you got to be really careful about unintended side effects of using the wind. So we're kind of trying to crash the black-sailed ships here and save the white-sailed ships, get them to the temple. But you gotta throw around a lot of wind. Sorry, it lags when it's loading resources. And this is the web build from the Ludum Dare compo. So this is the 48-hour build, and I just want to show you this for a minute. It's a good idea. Still needs work. Yeah, this was my first game jam, and it was my first compo, and it was really fun. Can't wait to see what the scores turned out, but I'm just happy to have participated. But anyway, this is what we made. This is what we made for the jam, and this is where we're at a couple weeks later. So we've really punched up the graphics. We've tuned the behavior. We've increased usability. There's a lot of visualization. I turned the music off because I'm just working on it all the time. So, and I didn't want to listen to those little jaunty sea shanties all day. But we're gonna record some new music. Tomorrow, I think we're gonna make some new ship designs. We introduced speed to the ship, so now you can control the ship's speed by the wind, which was not in the original Jam version. We tuned the difficulty a lot, tuned the graphics a lot. We're using the Jest Codes water shader. But fundamentally still the same game here. You're still trying to direct these sails in, these ships in. But yeah, we want to make a bunch more ships. We want to make a bunch of obstacles. Make some levels that are different, because this is just one level. And it's kind of a score chaser game right now, but thinking about how we can maybe add some longer legs to this. Thank you. Thank you, Seshamara. But yeah, we're working on this pretty much every day until we feel like it's good enough that we're gonna put it out there in some form. Really cool. This is my first game jam. I really had such a good time, and I've met so many people, both on the Ludum Dare site and also on Twitch here. Didn't realize how hard the Twitch game dev community went in for Ludum Dare. Yeah, it's been really great. Yeah, we will put it out on Steam. I'm working on a post-mortem video that I really want to have like a side-by-side trailer of like what the game looked like then and what the game's looking like now, and maybe put up a simple Steam page with like a version of the trailer that just shows the new game and what kind of features we're working on, just so we can get something, a landing page for people that are interested in. But yeah, it's going to be a small game, but I think it'll be nice to have. This is ramping up pretty slowly, but kind of on purpose at the moment. But yeah, thank you for coming by, Raiders. Thanks for checking this out. I really appreciate you directing everyone here, Jotson. Really nice. Really nice of you. Bring everyone by here. We were kind of preparing to wrap up our stream, but it was really nice that I did not, or I would have missed out on this. Yeah, if anyone has any thoughts or questions or whatever, or you'd like to play the original version and see how that works, I've got that pinned. Maybe I need a way of being able to dissipate. Because right now I can have two winds hit each other, and I can use that to like play a billiards game of like deflecting the wind, of like, oh, I don't want the wind to keep going, I need to turn it. Maybe we need some degree of wind annihilation to add here. Our health is measured in this faith value, and right now the game gets harder and harder the higher this faith value gets. I think it's still maybe a little undertuned, because you don't really see significant difficulty until we get up to like 30 faith. No, not 30 faith, like 50 faith. Starting to crank up a little bit, but still not at the difficulty that I would like it at, maybe. Oh no. But yeah, every time a pirate either kills one of your ships or makes it to the temple, you lose faith. So it's this kind of attention management game. How many of these little threads can you keep track of? We want to add a bunch more obstacles, like shipwrecks or like sea monsters. A bunch of ideas how to improve this. We already have different colors around the island. Is that done with Sprite? All the islands should be about the same color. I really enjoy hitting a ship head on with this, not head on, but tail. Get a tailwind behind one of these ships, they really get cooking. That was a feature. We couldn't really put ship speed in the jam version, but it's really fun now to just boost their speed as soon as they're on a line that you think is like acceptable. Yeah, it's really easy to mess yourself up here. Yeah, this is what we're working on. We're working on this every day for a few hours. I do have a day job, though, so it's actually about my time to go. But it's been really nice showing all of you the game so far, where it's at and where we're kind of planning on taking it. Who's doing Godot right now? We got quite a lot of people streaming Godot right now. Sorry, I've got to just kind of carry the raid forward here, but I think that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Raiders. Hope you come with me. Continue on to another Godot dev. I think we'll do Aramis. I don't think we've ever raided Aramis. I like watching Aramis while I'm working. He always streams at this time. Yeah, thanks for coming by, and hope to see you next time. Thanks again, Jotson.